The world is shifting fast, and most people, they're not paying attention. They're scrolling, sleeping, numbing, distracting, while the system reprograms them into quiet obedience. They think they're free, but they're not. They think they're informed, but they're not. They think they're living, but they're not alive. You've felt it, haven't you? That something is coming, something invisible, but massive. Something that can't be ignored for much longer. It's not a conspiracy. It's not paranoia. It's awakening. A spiritual, mental, energetic upheaval. And only a few will be ready when it hits. This isn't about fear. This is about awareness. This is about tuning in to the truth that the world has tried to silence inside you for decades. Because the truth is this: you are being programmed, trained, conditioned to stay distracted, conditioned to stay small, conditioned to chase dopamine instead of destiny. You're told work hard, retire later, trust the system, consume more, question less, be realistic. And that script, it's killing your potential. Every moment you ignore your gut feeling, every moment you scroll instead of build, every moment you escape instead of evolve, you fall deeper into the trap. But not everyone is asleep. Some of us are waking up. And once you wake up, you can't go back to sleep, because now you see the cracks in the promises, the cracks in the routines, the cracks in the illusion that comfort equals safety. And here's the truth: comfort is the most dangerous drug on earth. It whispers, just relax. It says you're doing fine. It numbs you slowly until you forget you're meant for more. The job that drains you, the relationship that suffocates you, the habits that keep you distracted, they all become normal. They all become chains. And the chains don't clink, they hug you. They make you feel safe even as they hold you back. Wake up. The world doesn't need more workers. It doesn't need more followers. It needs awakened builders, free thinkers, aligned creators. People who choose to unplug. People who choose to become so grounded, so intentional, so conscious that they break the patterns for generations to come. You were not born to pay bills and die. You were not born to live for weekends. You were not born to spend your life addicted to cheap pleasure and shallow connection. There is a shift coming, a massive one, energetically, economically, spiritually, and only the aware will adapt. You don't have time to waste. You don't have time to keep waiting, because while you sleep, they reprogram. While you scroll, they shift the rule. While you escape, they tighten the trap. This is your call, your spark, the whisper in your soul getting louder every day. You feel it when you wake up and wonder if there's more. You feel it when your body rejects routine. You feel it when your spirit says this isn't, and you're right, this isn't it. But you have to act. You have to unplug. You have to get uncomfortable. Because transformation isn't found in your comfort zone. It's buried under every lie you've been told about what's safe. Let this be the day you finally say no more sleepwalking, no more playing small, no more fitting in. Let this be the day you begin. Look around you. Look at how people live. They wake up and immediately grab their phone. Before they even speak to themselves, they've scrolled past 47 lives, 10 headlines, 3 notifications, and 1 influencer selling a dream. That's not connection. That's not awareness. That's control. You're being taught to wake up and plug in before you plug into your soul. Because if they can steal your attention in the first 5 minutes of your day, they own your whole day. That's not a mistake. It's the system. The system is not broken. It's built exactly as intended. To distract, to sedate, to consume your power before you remember you had it. Because a focused human is powerful. A present human is dangerous. A conscious human can't be controlled. So instead, they feed you stories, endless information, tragedies on loop, false urgencies, trends that vanish in days. And while you're chasing relevance, you're losing. You don't even realize how deep it runs. The apps, the ads, the music, the noise, all programmed to hit the exact frequencies that keep you from thinking deeply. Because if you slow down long enough to hear your own soul, you'll question everything, and they don't want. So they keep you in motion, in fear, in doubt. You're told you're not enough, so you spend money to feel better. You're told you're running out of time, so you rush, instead of reflect. You're told success is out there, so you stop looking at it. And all the while, your gifts are buried under distraction. Your calling smothered by content. Your voice drowned in noise. But here's what they can't control: your awareness, your ability to pause, your choice to listen inward. Every day you reclaim even 10 minutes of stillness. You unplug from the matrix. Every time you question what you're being shown, you take your power back. Because distraction is the new slavery, and presence is the new revolution. They don't fear chaos. They feed on it. They fear calm. They fear silence. They fear humans who think for themselves. And that's what you must become. Think for yourself. Feel for yourself. Choose for yourself. You don't have to scream. You don't have to post a thing. Just become unshakable in a world built on noise. Because once you're grounded, they can't move you. Once you're aware, they can't sell you lies. Once you're centered, they can't manipulate your emotions. Your mind is a battlefield, and the war is invisible. But the stakes are everything. You want your life back. Start with your attention. Start with your awareness. Start with a decision. I no longer belong to a system that feeds off my disconnection. That one choice, that one belief, it's the beginning of total liberation. Let's talk about comfort. Because comfort is how they keep you trapped. You think it's safe, you think it's rest, but the comfort you're addicted to is the very thing killing your power. They don't need to lock you in a cage. They just need you comfortable enough not to question it. They say, here's a 9 to 5. They say, here's Friday night drinks. They say, here's endless content. They say, here's fast food for your body, gossip for your mind, and cheap pleasure for your soul. And you accept it because it feels good for a moment. But what happens after? You wake up tired. Your dreams feel distant. Your fire dimmed. Your purpose forgotten. That's not living. That's existing. That's the matrix. Comfort is their trap. And if you don't fight it, it becomes your coffin. You don't feel dead, but you're not alive either. You're just floating, numbing, waiting for something to change. But nothing changes until you do. Because comfort isn't peace. Peace comes from alignment. Comfort comes from sedation. And they know if they can keep you comfortable, they never have to control you directly. You'll stay put. You'll follow quietly. You'll scroll endlessly. You'll do exactly what they want. But you weren't born for comfort. You were born for eye impact. You were born to feel fire in your chest, to chase visions that scare you, to become the version of you that terrifies the system. The one who thinks, the one who builds, the one who says no more. You want freedom? Turn off autopilot. Question everything. Step into discomfort. Because discomfort is the training ground of greatness. Discomfort is where truth shows up. Discomfort is where the real you gets built. The system will call you crazy. Your friends will say you've changed. People will distance themselves because you're no longer relatable. Let them. Let them stay in the comfort zone. You're not here for comfort. You're here for clarity. You're here for purpose. You're here for a life that actually means something. The moment you start choosing discipline over distraction, vision over validation, silence over stimulation, you unplug, you escape, you rise. The new matrix isn't wires and cables. It's patterns. It's convenience. It's a culture of comfort that punishes clarity. But not you. Not anymore. You've seen too much. You've felt the dull ache of being meant for more. You've stared at your ceiling wondering what it's all for. And now you move differently. Not for applause, not for approval, but because you remember who you are. This is your exit, your permission, your line in the sand. No more soft cages, no more invisible chains, no more fake peace that comes from playing small. Burn the comfort zone, let the old version of you die, and step into the fire. That's where your real life begins. They don't just want you distracted. They don't just want you numb. They want you afraid of your own power. Because a powerful human, a fully awake, self-led, independent thinker, that person can't be controlled. That person doesn't comply. That person doesn't need permission to move. So They train you from childhood. Be quiet. Don't be too much. Fit in. Don't question. Stay safe. They strip the fire from your voice. They punish curiosity. They reward obedience. And slowly, silently, your light dims. You become what they want. A tamed soul. A silenced lion. A body that moves without a mind that thinks. But here's the truth they could never erase. Your power never left you. It's just been buried, covered by years of programming, hidden under masks you were told you had to wear. And when you strip it all away, the rules, the noise, the fears, you'll find it again. That part of you that was born wild. That part of you that knew what freedom felt like before they convinced you to trade it in for comfort. That part of you that doesn't need validation to lead. Because power isn't volume, it's vibration. It's what you radiate when you remember who you are. And your power, it terrifies the system, because they know once you step into it, you become uncontrollable. You become magnetic. You become a mirror that shows others what's possible. They'll call you dangerous. They'll call you selfish. They'll say you've changed. Good, because you were never supposed to stay the same. You were never meant to keep yourself small, just so others would feel comfortable around you. You're here to grow, to build, to challenge, to expand. You're here to be an example of what happens when someone reclaims their energy and puts it toward purpose instead of people-pleasing. This is the season where you stop hiding. This is the season where you stop editing your truth. This is the season where you show up in full power and let the world adjust or walk away, because they trained you to shrink, to silence, to doubt. But your soul, it was never designed to be manageable. So now you speak. Now you create. Now you act. Now you lead. Not from ego, not for applause, but from truth. Because your power is not a threat. It's a permission slip for every silent warrior still waiting for a sign. Let them see you. Let them feel you. Let them realize that what they feared was what they were meant to become. This is the awaken. This is the uprising. This is the return of power to the people who forgot they had it. No more shrinking. No more delaying. No more apologizing. You're not too much. You're exactly enough for the mission you were given, for the light you carry, for the shift that's already begun. Step into it. This shift that's happening is not optional. The old systems are collapsing, the distractions are multiplying, the energy is getting louder, faster, heavier, and you have two choices: rise or remain, awaken or be absorbed, align or be left behind. There's no in-between anymore. There's no someday, there's only now. Because everything that's fake, it's falling apart. The jobs that drain you, the friendships that mask judgment as support, the content that makes you feel empty after binging it, the goals that were never yours to begin with, they're crumbling, and the question is, are you still holding on, or are you letting go to rise? This is the part where the awakened separate from the attached, where the brave separate from the comfortable, where the committed separate from the curious. You can't live in alignment and stay addicted to your old patterns. You can't rise while clinging to what's sinking. You have to choose your truth or their approval, your purpose or their expectations, your future or their past. Alignment isn't found in a quote or a podcast. It's built in your daily decisions. It's forged in your habits. It's felt in your nervous system. You don't need to scream. You need to recalibrate. You need to look at your life and ask, is this built from my truth or my trauma? Is this who I am or who I've been trained to be? Because the world is shifting fast. And the people who are aligned, they're rising like wildfire. They're launching, creating, healing, expanding. They're not waiting for permission. They're not asking for guarantees. They're not playing it safe. They've tuned in, and that inner frequency is louder than any fear. This is your invitation not to be perfect, but to be aligned. To speak your truth even when your voice shakes. To walk away from what no longer feels like home. To follow the nudges that make no logical sense but feel right. You'll lose people. You'll lose parts of your identity. But what you gain is yourself. Your real self, not the version shaped by survival. Not the version who was liked by everyone but never liked themselves. Not the version who knew how to smile while crumbling inside. The real you, the one you've been waiting for. The one who can feel the wave coming. It's not a trend, it's not a phase. It's a frequency, a collective shift, a deep, soul-level calling. And if you're here, you've heard it, you feel it, and now, you act on it. Because the future won't wait, the truth won't wait, and your time is now. There's a moment in every awakening where you realize you've been consuming more than you've been creating. You've been watching more than you've been doing. You've been following more than you've been leading. And that moment, it stings. It humbles you. But it also frees you because you suddenly remember you weren't born to consume. You were born to create. Create ideas, create solutions, create energy, create change. But they made consumption the culture. They made reaction the norm. They made everyone a spectator in their own life. Think about it. When was the last time you sat in silence with a new idea? When was the last time you built something without worrying how it would be perceived? When was the last time you moved from instinct, not influence? Creation is divine. Creation is dangerous to the system because when you create, you stop being predictable. You stop fitting their mold. You start waking others up. And that ripple, it's unstoppable. You want to change your life. Stop endlessly scrolling. Start writing, start building, start recording, start launching, start serving. Because consumption might entertain you, but only creation transforms you. You're not here to play small in the comments section. You're here to be the one who starts conversations that change people's lives. You're not here to react to someone else's algorithm. You're here to create your own rhythm. And that shift, that moment where you decide to make instead of take, that's the beginning of the new world. The world isn't changed by critics. It's changed by creators, by those who step out of the matrix of noise and say, I choose to lead, even when no one watches, even when no one claps, even when it's messy and raw and uncomfortable. Because leadership isn't about perfection. It's about intention. It's about courage. It's about creation. So what are you building? What truth are you speaking? What fire are you lighting? Because there is no more time to wait. The world is starving for something real. And you have it. You've always had it. But you've been too distracted to bring it to life. Until now. Now is the time to create. Not tomorrow, not when it's perfect. Now, because the system thrives when you consume. But your soul thrives when you create. And a new world? It will be built by those who chose creation over consumption, presence over passivity, action over algorithm. Let the old world scroll, let the new world build. It's not just a feeling, it's real. You've seen it, you've felt it, that sense that something is shifting beneath the surface of everyday life. But most people, they brush it off. They call it anxiety. They medicate it. They drown it in noise. But not, because once you see the signs, you can't unsee them. The system's cracking, the energy's shifting, the mask's falling. The truth has been whispering, now it's screaming. Look around, people are tired, but they don't know why. They're angry, but they don't know at who. They're disconnected, but they're constantly connected. Because something deeper is happening, something most people can't explain, so they ignore it. They binge, they numb, they distract. But you're awake enough to notice. You feel the pressure building in your spirit. You feel the pull towards something more real. It's not a trend. It's a tremor. It's not about doom, it's about direction. The signs aren't there to scare you. They're there to prepare you. Because the world doesn't shift all at once. It starts quietly, in patterns, in symbols, in synchronicities. And if you're seeing them, it means you're being called to be more conscious, more present, more active in a shaping of your own reality. You've been asleep long enough. You've played it safe long enough. You've doubted yourself long enough. Now it's time to move with purpose. Because the signs, they're not just coincidences. They're checkpoints, confirmations, warnings. That feeling in your gut, it's intelligence. It's wisdom that doesn't come from books. It comes from alignment, from intuition, from something bigger than you trying to move through you. Most people reject it. They need evidence. They want it to make sense. But the shift you're being called into, it doesn't make sense at first. It feels true before it looks true. You'll be tempted to ignore it, to fall back asleep, to convince yourself it's nothing. But if you do, you'll miss it. You'll miss the moment that could have changed everything. Don't ignore the signs. Don't drown the whispers. Don't wait for certainty to move. The path isn't revealed, then you walk. You walk and the path reveals itself. This is the time to act, to align, to awaken, because the signs are not slowing down. The frequency is increasing, and those who see it, they're building, they're moving, they're preparing. Be one of them. Be the one who listens. Be the one who leads. This is it. This is the part where everything shifts from awareness to action. Because now you know. You've seen too much to go back. The distractions, you see through them. The systems, you feel the cracks. The energy, you sense the shift. So what's left? A decision, a moment, a line in the sand where you say, from this point on, I'm all in. Because the truth, there's no more room for waiting. There's no more space for hesitation. The world isn't slowing down. It's speeding up. And those who are not aligned will be left overwhelmed. But not you, because you've done the work. You've unlearned the noise. You've remembered your voice. Now it's time to step in fully, with boldness, with truth, with fire. You're not here to survive this shift. You're here to lead it, to be the anchor in the chaos, to be the calm in the storm, to be the light others can follow. But you can't lead if you're still negotiating with fear. You can't lead if you're still waiting for everything to be perfect. You can't lead if you're still silencing your truth, to stay safe. So stop holding back. Speak, move, create, live, like the world depends on it, because it does. Your mission was never meant to look like anyone else's. That's why comparison kills clarity. It steals the focus from your lane. So forget how they're doing it. Forget who's watching. Forget the algorithm. This isn't about number. It's about frequency. It's about the vibration you carry when you walk into a room. And it shifts. Because you're there. That's power. That's presence. That's purpose. And you don't get there by staying comfortable. You get there by answering the call. Every day. Again and again. Even when it's hard. Even when you're scared. Even when no one claps. Because the reward isn't applause. It's alignment. It's knowing you're on path. It's knowing you didn't shrink. It's knowing you didn't settle. The world is waking up. One voice at a time. And your voice, it matters. So use it. Let it roar. Let it whisper. Let it move. This is the final wake-up call. Not for your ego, but for your soul. You've been prepared. You've been chosen. And now you must choose back. Say yes. Say now. Say forever. Because your mission, it starts today. The world has never needed you more than it does right now.